Hello everyone, in this video we will deploy our full stack MERN application to render.com. We will deploy frontend and backend separately, as you can see. However, as you know, in my previous videos I used another approach where I deployed backend and frontend together as one service. So if you want, you can check out these videos. You can find them on my YouTube channel. But in this video, as I said, we are going to deploy frontend and backend separately, because in real-world projects it's more common and it's better to deploy frontend and backend separately. So I will walk you through every step, so watch this video till the end. So after watching this video, you will finally deploy your application. So let's get started. Okay guys, so as you can see, here I have backend and frontend folders, and this is how my index.js file looks like. I think that it's clear to you. And in .env file, I have this port variable and Mongo URI. And here I connect to MongoDB Atlas using this function. And also I have this model and these routes. It's just I'm just quickly showing you what I have. And the main file that you need to pay attention to is this index.js. Okay, and also in my package.json, as you can see, I have the following scripts. And as for frontend, I use Vite, React.js, and Tailwind CSS. Okay, so here I have app.j6, and as you can see, when it comes to API URL, I have a special file called api.js. So as you can see, it is equal to import.meta.env. And here we provide this variable. And inside frontend, I also have this .env file, and it is equal to this path. Okay. Later on render.com, I will change it to be the URL of the backend that we're gonna deploy. And this is how my vite.config.js file looks like. Okay. I think that now you have a basic understanding of what I have when it comes to my code. Okay, and now let me show what this basic application looks like. So as you can see here, we have this mini block. Let's just write something for fun. And let's click add post. And as you can see here, we have this test. Let's see it in our database. So as I have already mentioned, for our database, we use MongoDB Atlas. And as you can see, here we have this message. Okay, and now I'm going to push this code to GitHub. You can skip this part if you already have your code on GitHub. So you can skip this part using timestamps in the video's description. Okay, so for that, let's open our terminal pressing Ctrl and backtick. And now I need to stop my frontend, and let's also stop our backend. Okay, so let's leave this directory and go app. Okay, and here let's write git init. So we need to initialize our repository, and as you can see, we have this folder. And of course, we don't want our .env files to be pushed to GitHub. So for that, I can take this git ignore file and I can put it in the root. So let's move it. And now inside this git ignore file, let's write .env. So as you can see, now it is ignored, and this one is also ignored. Okay. So let's continue. Let's clear our terminal. I will go to my GitHub account. So here I will go to repositories and I will click new. And here let's provide a name. I will say MERN test deploy. Okay, I will make it to be private, and let's continue. Okay, now let's write git add, and I want to write dot. And now if we write this command, which is git status, you can see what files were added. Now let's say that we want to write git commit, and for the message, we want to say initial commit. Okay, so let's copy this command and paste it in our terminal. And the same should be done for these two commands. Okay, we have successfully pushed our code to GitHub. So let's see it on GitHub. So for that, all I need to do is to refresh this page. And as you can see, here we have our backend and frontend folders. So now let's go to render.com, and from there we will deploy our services, which are backend and frontend. Okay, so let's click dashboard. And I want to sign in to render using GitHub. So if you need an account, you need to sign up first, but I already have an account, so I will just sign in. Okay, and after that, I'll be on this page. So let's click add new. And first, we want to deploy backend. So that's why I will choose a web service. And for the front end, we will choose a static site. But for now, let's click web service. And as you can see here, I have some of my repositories, but I don't see the one which is MERN test deploy. To see that repository here, we need to click credentials. And from here, you need to choose your own account and click configure in GitHub. Then you need to scroll all the way to the bottom. And from here, as you can see, we have repository access. So let's click select repositories. And from here, you need to find the repository that you need. So this is the one that I need. Let's click save. And as you can see, now I have it. So let's choose it. Okay. And when it comes to these fields, we can leave almost everything as it is. And for the root directory, we need to choose backend. Okay. For the build command, we need to say npm install. And for the start command, we need to say npm start. Okay. Here we can choose free option. And we need to provide environment variables. So let's click this button, and here we just need to provide our environment variables. So let's do it. So let's just copy them and provide them. Okay, so let's click add variables, and here you can provide secret files, and you can configure pre-deploy command, auto deploy, but for the sake of this tutorial, we keep everything as simple as possible. So let's click deploy web service. And also, as you can see here, you can connect to your database using a list of IP addresses which Render gives you. But in MongoDB, I set allow access from anywhere, again for the sake of this tutorial. But in real world projects, in real production, you shouldn't do that. So as you can see, it is live. So as you can see, available at your primary URL. And here we go. And we didn't give it a name. We just say MERN test deploy, but we can give it a name. So let's go to settings, first of all. And for the name, let's just say backend. Okay. Let's say edit, and let's say backend. Let's save changes. So it will be easier for us to manage it. So let's go to events. And here we have our backend, and we can open this link. And as you can see, our backend is running since we see this message. Now, if we go to dashboard, as you can see, we have backend. The service name is backend. Now let's click new. And for the front end, we want to choose static site. And again, we need to choose this MERN test deploy. for the name, let's say frontend. The branch will be main and the root directory will be frontend. For the build command, we need to say npm run build and publish directory will be dist. Okay, and now when it comes to environment variables, we need to provide the following variable. So we need to go to frontend folder and open this file, and we need to provide this variable. But locally, you can see that it is HTTP localhost 5000. But here, we want to provide the URL of our backend, which we have already deployed. So I just copied this URL and I want to paste it right here. And let's click deploy static site. And as you can see, our frontend is live. So let's open this link. And as you can see, now we have our frontend. But if I open DevTools, we can see that we have an error. So as you can see here, I have double slashes and it shouldn't be like that. So let's fix that. So for that, we need to go to the environment tab. And now if I make it to be visible, as you can see here, I have an extra slash. So let's click edit. And all I need to do is to remove this extra slash. And let's click save and rebuild. I think that the fact that I have this error is even good for you, because by fixing this kind of problems together, we always learn something new. Okay, and now let's go to the events tab. And as you can see, we see that deploy started. So let's wait for it to finish. So now, as you can see, it says that deploy is live. So let's refresh this page. And as you can see, now we have these posts. Okay, you can also set allowed origins when you use course library inside your server file. Right now, I just set that all origins which do requests to my backend will not have any course issues. But you can explicitly set from what origins you expect to have requests, and you can just copy this URL. So you can provide this origin, for example, this way. So it's up to you. So that's it, guys. If you find this video helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe to this channel if you haven't done it yet. Thank you. I really appreciate it.